Hi guys, again just using my hand to hold the camera because tripod still fucks. Yeah, this is the part 2 and ending sort of tutorial duo thing for the Sleek Garden of Eden makeup palette. So the first one, if you haven't seen it, I'll link it below, is the Garden of Eden before Exile. So it shows bright colours, flushes, you know, more goldy, greeny, more healthier looking options, because I imagine in biblical story, if Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, they'd be happy, they'd want for nothing, you know, they'd be fresh, awake, happy. So I kind of took those feelings and put it into my eye makeup and lip makeup. And now for this one, it's after Exile. So obviously they've been kicked out of the Garden of Eden, they have to fend for themselves. There's wild, savage beasts, I imagine, outside, and you know, they're finding it hard. So I've used more of the darker browns, bits of deep golds from the palette to kind of represent dark sleepiness, you know, they're going through hardships, it's a struggle. So I've kind of made it more, I guess it looks like a grungy kind of look, but you know, with the deep browns, a little bit of shimmer. So that's what I was going for in this one. I hope it satisfies you. Yeah, very unenthusiastic in the actual makeup tutorial part because my mum was up here for that most part and I didn't know if she was listening or not, and that makes me uncomfortable. But yeah, I'm just going to do this next part because I did it in the last video. So I am wearing my Palmer's Cocoa Butter Formula cream with my Pacifica Tuscan Blood Orange Solid perfume to kind of make me think of oranges, but no, they're bloody. I don't know, I really don't know what that was about. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the tutorial. To prep my skin before I started putting my makeup on, I used Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser and Aveeno Moisturiser. And to let it sink in before I put my lip product on, I used the Little Blue Tint, which is a lip balm, and for light coverage I wanted Avon Flawless CC Cream. So before I start anything, I'm going to be using my number 7 Stay Perfect Smoothing and Brightening Eye Base again, just like the last video I did. And I'm going to be using the little mirror from the Sleek palette. As you can see, to cut down on time, I've already done this eye. I'm just going to be showing you on my left eye. I've also decided to leave my eyebrows sort of just natural because I wanted it to add to the roughness of After Exile from the Garden of Eden. And there's a bit of eyebrow. So once that's done, we can get into the colour. The first colour I'm going to go into is called Entwined, and it's this sort of mid-tone brown with sort of flecks of glitter, gold glitter in it. It's not too overpowering. That's going to be our eye base kind of colour, and I'm just going to pat that on with my ring finger all over the lid. Once that is done, we're going to go in with Flora, which is the brown there. Now that's just a matte sort of deep reddish undertoned brown, and we're going to take that on the inner and outer section of the eye like so. And we're going to blend that out with a fluffy brush. I'd recommend a denser fluffy brush because this one's kind of crap, but it's the only one I have to hand right now. Now with this brush again, we're going to go back into Entwined and sort of just smudge that on the bottom lash line. And this is good because it's got some of the Flora colour, the matte brown that we used. So it's also going to darken up the under eye to make it look sort of sleepy and ill. And this is how I kind of would imagine Adam and Eve to look like, just very, you know, tired because they're actually having to face all the dangers of the world after being kicked out of the Garden of Eden. So yeah, just smudge that along the lower lash line. Next we're going to take Python, which is in the top, it's like the middle colour in the top section, and it's this like brownish bronzy gold colour with flecks of orangey brown shimmer. We're going to take a fluffy brush again and just tap a little bit of this on, and we're going to put it in the crease in between flora that we've kind of done to the middle, no, that we've kind of put on the inner and outer section of the eye. Just diffuse those two colours together. Now you may notice I haven't been wiping the brushes in between. That's because I kind of just want everything to blend seamlessly and kind of almost look like one shade with many dimensions, because I do think that having just an almost monotone dark look would be perfect for what I envision for being in Exile, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're then going to use the first shade, which is Gates of Eden, and it's just that very bright, kind of bronzy, orangey shade, and we're going to put that in the inner section of the eye, tap off any excess. Now this is going to make it look a bit weird, so you can completely ignore this step, but it's just kind of to brighten everything up, but it does have a, where it's got shimmer, it has a weird kind of reflexes on the dark colours that we've laid down beforehand. So yeah, it's entirely up to you if you want to put this in or not. I'm going to bring that colour up a little bit, but mainly focus on the inner corner of the eye. Like that. That is basically it for the actual shadow of it. Much quicker than my other video, because I wanted to take more of a simpler route, because obviously they're going to be not much resources in Exile, so I kind of wanted to portray that in my makeup interpretation of it. So now we're going to go in with a gel black eyeliner, but it's in pencil format. I'm just going to smudge that across the upper and lower lash line. I'm going to be using Avon Super Shock gel eyeliner in black to do this. You can use a black eyeshadow to kind of make it easier to blend out, but I kind of want that harshness there. And then for the lower lash line, we're going to just take the brush and sort of dab it onto the eyeliner itself to sort of make it more softer. And we're just going to press that into the actual lash line and drag it across. And then we're going to take the gel liner itself and kind of rim it across the rim. This side's a bit darker than this side, but that's alright, it doesn't really bother me. Now we're going to go in with some mascara. I'm just using some George Big L mascara that I've had for years. It's quite clumpy, but it will do. I think it's in part of my Project 10 pan, so I'm just trying to use it up, to be honest. Now we're going in with some concealer. I'm just going to dab a little bit on the lips. I'm literally just wanting it to give a dry look. So the colour that we're going to put on after has something to hug onto, and it's going to make your lips look parched and resemble what I'd imagine they would look like in Exile, like I'm trying to do through this whole process. So literally just a dab of it and sort of just do this. And it hugs to the nasty cracks in my lips and makes it look drier than it actually is, which is perfect. So literally it hasn't really changed the colour of my lips that much, but it brings out the dry texture that I kind of want. So the tint we're going to be using is the Tony Moly tint in Catchy Wink, and it's in Cherry Red, I think. And I'm just going to blob a bit in the centre of my bottom lip and sort of smudge it out with my finger. Kind of do the technique that we did in the last video if you saw it, but it kind of has the reverse effect this time. It kind of makes it look parched and dry, and like you've been licking your lips, but it's not getting moisturised sort of thing. And then lastly, with a big fluffy brush, we're going to be using Natural Collection Translucent Powder and just set everything in place. And I'm just going to do my hair and I'll be back to show you the results. So here is the end result for my part 2 of the Sleek Garden of Eden makeup palette tutorial. This is more of a dark twist because it's after Exile, and yeah, so got some skulls in to sort of emphasise that, and sort of messy, wavy mermaid hair. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Thanks for watching. Bye.